Another Butland mistake, more Dessers chances missed, another defeat at Ibrox for Rangers. It feels like deja vu. Welcome back to Fog Football. 5 defeats in a row at Ibrox. Historic. Never been done before. And dare I say, it might be 6 on Thursday, but today's Saturday. We need to break it down. And honestly, you take it away, because I could explode on these players, man. Barry. Big Barry. Oh, Barry. Barry.
Well, you said deja vu, nothing new here. Rangers are used to losing to teams in green. Normally that team's Celtic. Today that team was Hibernian, and I thought it was I'm not going to say it's predictable, but it's not a shock.
You predict the Hibs to win?
I did. I predicted 2-1. Rangers let me down by not scoring, I guess, that consolation goal or getting that one goal or whatnot, but Hibs came into this 15 unbeaten, no doubt about it. The form team in the league right now, and I did see how they could beat Rangers at Ibrox, especially considering how Rangers had already lost 4 in a row. So Hibs winning this game, in my opinion, not a shock at all.
No, it's not a shock. I predicted 2 each. I'll be honest, deep down I thought Hibs would probably... We knew. I mean, literally the preview to this game was, well, if St Mirren and Motherwell can put 2 past Rangers in like 15 minutes, then why can't Hibs? And albeit it took a wee bit longer than 15 minutes to make it 2-0. But Hibs did not look like losing this game at any point. And that's the damning thing about Rangers. I said it earlier in the stream. They're losing games, and it's no fluke. They're simply just getting battered.
And I think if Hibs keep going like this, then I think Sir Davy Gray legitimately needs that knighthood.
Aye, because, I mean,
what a run. What a run he is on.
If Hibs, obviously, you can't say, well, if they did it for the start of the season, right? But see if they weren't so bad at the start of the season, they could legitimately have finished second. They're 15 points behind.
Yeah, just that awful start to the season is obviously... You thought that was going to ruin their entire year, but I mean, they've managed to salvage it. They are going to get 3rd place. I don't see a way that Hibs don't get 3rd. I think they're going to be too good for everyone in the top 6. And I just see them winning the games against like Aberdeen and Dundee United when they do play them. So, I mean, what a season for Hibs. What Davy Gray, what a legend. I
don't see them losing at Easter Road to this team either, like, to be honest.
No, I don't. But you know what? This guy could have been sacked. It's absolutely mental.
Was that free each game against Aberdeen?
And I remember that game because I had Aberdeen in my bet and I was waiting on them for like 150 quid. And then obviously Hibs scored in the 92nd minute. I wanted to kill myself.
Yep.
Aberdeen scored in the 95th minute and I was jumping about like a fanny. And then obviously I think it was Rocky Bashuri, 97th minute, last kick of the game. I was
Rocky Balboa.
ready to tan the wrists there. So, and ever since that game, Hibs have been on the up, and I guess you could say Aberdeen have went the opposite way as well. So, but yeah, I'm not going to bash Aberdeen because apparently I do that too much. So
you do it too often.
I'll bash Rangers instead, right? They're absolute shite. And Barry Ferguson, right? I give him a wee bit of credit. I thought the double leg ties right against Fenerbahce. Say what you want, but nobody expected him to come through that. Nobody expected him to beat Jose Mourinho. So he does deserve credit. All right, maybe in the second leg, rode his luck a wee bit, and maybe you would have expected him to deal with it more comfortably. I'm pretty sure you said Rangers would not lose at Ibrox against Fenerbahce.
I did,
and you were wrong about that. So and yeah, in the end they were a bit lucky, right, to get through in penalties. But fair play, I think you got to give him credit. And then that Dundee game, Dundee looked like they had that match won, and they came back and they won 4-3 again. Maybe a little bit fortunate because Dundee could have won that 4-3, but Rangers go over the line. So you do need to give him credit. However, I mean, this is what? How many games has he had at home? 4?
No, he's had 2. No, he's had 3, 1 in Europe, 2 in the league.
To lose all of them, that's shite.
No, that is. No, there's no defending. See 5 losses in a row. You can say, oh, well, one was against Fenerbahce, right? And obviously some span over Clement's time.
But look at...
No, but that is relegation form.
No, it is. And even... I know he won those games, but even look at Dundee and Kelly, man. In both of those games, they were trailing by 2.
No, but there's a... See...
And, in another universe, they could have... Kilmarnock in that game looked more likely to get the 3rd goal.
Yep.
And then when Rangers got it, it kind of changed things around. So... that could have been a game where he could have lost, and then he could have lost the Dundee game. I know that's ifs and buts, but had he lost both of them, then I think he could make a case of even be here right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still think he'd be here, but
I know they're bringing them into the end of the season, but the results need to be somewhat acceptable.
yeah.
And I think if he'd have lost to Dundee and Kilmarnock, I don't think that would have been acceptable.
Well, five losses in a row at home's unacceptable. I don't care what team you are. No team that plays 11 men on a pitch in any level of football, amateur, professional, semi-pro, whatever, right, should be losing 5 games at home in a row. Do you not agree with that?
I don't know. I feel like Hearts lost 5 games in a row at the start of this season.
No, they probably did, but it's unacceptable.
At least it felt like 5.
Like the fear factor is good. And considering Rangers were alright at home for the large part of the season at the start, I don't know what's happened, man. And Barry's only got himself to blame as well, because he's continuing to play absolute fannies like Jack Butland. I mean, if you were to say, what is the blueprint for a Rangers defeat this season? Butland mistake, Dessers misses a shit ton of chances, and defensively, we look as frail as a fucking, a tower of cards. It's like, that is it. That is it. We're just shite.
I still think Dessers is the best striker at Rangers.
But
maybe that says a lot for what Rangers have to offer.
See, for a Jambo Bear, you need to watch more Rangers games then, because Cyril Dessers is rank rotten.
I'd take him over Danilo any day of the week.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean?
It does. That's your options.
Well, no, I'd fire Igamani through the middle.
Yeah, but if you've got a choice between Dessers and Danilo, and I'm taking Dessers, then what do you mean that doesn't mean anything?
I'd go with Danilo. Dessers, alright, let's just get into the game. Rangers weren't robbed today, but I feel like I was robbed. The $9.99 for Rangers TV, and for 40 minutes in the first half, did not work.
That's why you use other sites that I will not mention.
He will not mention, but loads of people mentioned them. But Rangers begin the game, right? Raskin has a shot blocked. It was saved, sorry. Decent start, the 90-second champions, whatever. Then Dylan Levitt for a corner. Fires it. Straight at Butland, you're thinking, right, comfortable save. Butland catches, throw it, counter-attack. Now they 1-0 rate. No, it's 1-0, it's under him. And it's like, what in the fuck is this guy doing? He should be dropped every day of the week. What are we waiting on? Liam Kelly's pish, but he did not make mistake after mistake after mistake. It's every game for this guy.
Butland's, the 15 million price tag, that's done, isn't it? That's been wrapped up.
Yeah, his career's done.
That is in the bin, that is.
I mean, I did not watch a lot of the guy, right, when he was after the Stoke City period, FIFA 17. But there's a reason why this guy didn't get played. You know what I mean? Back then, that's when he was at the peak of his powers. He got into the England setup. There's a reason why he spent 6-7 years before
Rangers. Is that number 2 or number 3?
And barely playing. And this is it. He had the purple periods, right? But could it just be a case that it was his first run of games in years? And he was, he was in form. And then as soon as one bad thing went against him, i.e. Gareth Southgate not calling up, his arse is full. The awful goal to concede. And as bad as Dessers is, right, and he is really bad, you can't keep going behind in games, man. It doesn't matter what the firepower situation is up front. See, if you keep going behind in games, eventually you're going to drop points. And I say eventually, we don't drop points. We drop points every other game. And Hibs are genuinely the best team in the league on form. They are. I know Celtic beat them in the cup, right? But their unbeaten run in the league speaks for itself. And once they went 1-0 up, they didn't look like ever giving up the lead, man. And Dessers has 3 1-on-1s, all good balls over the top for different individuals, and he just puts it straight at the goalie, Big Smith, man. It's just rank rotten. The guy's no good enough. 3 1-on-1. I mean, look how many fucking chances he had against Dundee. So what? 15 shots. I don't even know how many shots he had in this game, but let's just say 15. He scores 1 goal, and you're sitting there saying he's the best man they've got. I can't. It's no good enough. I'd rather play Tav up front, for fuck's sake.
Fair enough. I just think Dessers gets unfair whack of the stick.
And what's unfair, though? What's unfair about it?
Scapegoat.
No, there's plenty of scapegoats.
I mean, he's not the worst player at Rangers. Not a chance.
Well, there's a long fucking list.
He's fucking better than Barami. If you're looking at people that cost a similar amount.
Oh, Barami's shite, aye.
Danilo costs more than Dessers, and I'd take Dessers over Danilo.
It's mad to think Danilo, Dessers, Barami, Cortez. You're looking at the best part of 20 million, and for what? I mean, at least Dessers can make the claim. Well, you know what? I've scored 45 goals in 101 games.
That's a good return.
The other three can fucking.
See if someone says to you when you sign Dessers he's going to get 40, you'd have took that all day long.
But it's the context of it. How many chances he's ballooned along the way? Still 12.
Yeah, but hold on here. I would argue that Dessers gets himself in better positions and he creates more opportunities for himself than Igamani or Danilo.
But see, I think that's a criticism of him. It's almost like if his positioning was a wee bit worse, he wouldn't look as bad. But then how many chances would it more take for him to actually bang them in the back of the net? We can fucking debate it all day, man. Dessers is ranked rotten and he needs to go. Sick of it. Butland as well. I'm just, it's like, this was the same under Clement. It's the same under Beale. Why is Barry coming out and saying, oh, they're not listening to me. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. You're fucking playing the same players, son. I mean, don't think anyone's going to really turn on Barry Ferguson, but if you keep playing the same shitey players, you're going to get the same shitey results.
If they're not listening, then they shouldn't be in the team.
I know, but that's what I don't know what it is, right? 4 Rangers men, the new orange order, call them what you want, but you actually need someone to go in, right? Who's not associated to the club, because what people got to remember is Barry Ferguson's an ambassador, so he's obviously, he was connected to the club before he got the manager job, right? But you need someone to go in and be like, right, I don't give a two shites about wages. I'm basing who I'm picking off of training, and then I see if we play the first game and it's shite, I'm putting the youngsters in. See this same old, and it's not even a case of, well, we're going with the experienced heads in Europe because they try in that. What is the fucking point of playing this team domestically? It's done. It's going to be 16 points tomorrow. I mean, St Johnstone do need to win, by the way, because Dundee and Kelly both won, but...
Yeah, I had a fear that would happen. Looking at Dundee, Kilmarnock, both having home games. It's not a good weekend for St Johnstone.
No, it's not. Right, let's go into the second half. That was it. Hibs could have had a few more goals in the first half. Dessers missed a boatload of chances. Anyway, into the second half. Hibs fire a ball across. I believe it was Triantis. Clips James Tavernier in the hand. They look at it for a bit. I never got a replay because as soon as it went to show the replay, Rangers TV conveniently cut to the next thing and I didn't get to see it, so I don't know if it was a penalty or not. We'll move on. Barami gets played through, he cracks the bar, you're thinking, fuck's sake. Hibs then hit on the counter, Bowie drags a shot wide, really should do better, it's poor for Stirling, he loses the ball at the halfway line. Then Hibs make it 2-0. I can't remember who played the ball through, but it was a great ball. Martin Boyle on the halfway line, times it to perfection. He's in his own half, and also Stirling's playing him on. No idea for the life of me why this took so long to get given. Do you want to have a guess at why it took so long to get given?
Trying to save Rangers on Ibrox.
Maybe that was the case, but it's a good finish for Boyle, right? And it was like his first one-on-one of the game, really. But it's straight at Butland. It goes under him, and Butland gets beat yet again. It's 2-0, and I'd love to sit here and say, oh, Rangers huffed and they puffed, they really tried. They didn't do dick, and they get beat. Fair and square, they lost 2-0. And that's it. Do you not feel like under Gerrard's, right, when Rangers lost, more often than not, it did feel like a smash and grab for the other team? Well, now, if you do
Rangers are deservedly losing games.
Yes, if you just turn up and do the basics against Rangers, you'll win. You will win like 9 times out of 10, and we've seen that. That's not even an exaggeration. See St Mirren Motherwell.
Well, 9 times out of 10 might be an exaggeration, but no, I digress.
But see Motherwell, right? Queen's Park, St Mirren, Hibs. They have turned up, and let's not.
Well, Queen's Park haven't turned up. I have since beaten Rangers.
No, they haven't. But let's be brutally honest. And this isn't sour grapes for me. I think even the supporters of the clubs themselves would admit they weren't great in the games. Like, yeah, they defended good. They did the basics right. But it's like Rangers are just so fucking shite. And you're right about Queen's Park. They lost 3-0. I took Livy -2, 6-4, printing money. But I didn't touch this game because I knew Rangers wouldn't win. It ends 2-0. Hibs fans were chanting, oh, Barry, Barry. There was about 2 Rangers fans left by the end. What's there left to say apart from it's utter fucking shite? And that's about it. Rangers are 13 points behind. If Celtic win tomorrow, they will be closer to Hibs than they will be to Celtic. Can Rangers finish below Hibs?
You and Cameron about a month ago predicted Rangers would finish closer to Hibs than they would Celtic. I could certainly see that happening.
Well, yep. Yeah. I mean, I'd say so. Absolutely. Because I believe in the split. Rangers have got more games at Ibrox and away from home. And
At the moment, that doesn't look like a good thing.
yeah, it's not a good thing, but that's it. Rangers 0, Hibs 2. Hibs thoroughly deserved the victory. And that's really a bit.
Tell you what, a wee win against Bilbao though, and people will quickly forget about this.
No, fuck that. I won't forget about it. Fuck Bilbao. I mean, I know it's all we've got left to play for, but it's like, that just tells me that these players only care about Thursday night. Europa night.
Well, you always do say it's the best night of the week, so
Aye, it is, but that doesn't change the fact that this is unacceptable. And I'll be there, but I mean, it's pish. It's no good enough, man. We're back with fans react soon enough. And sports scene, I think we'll give sports scene a watch tonight and review all the games. How about that?
sounds good to me.
Sounds good to him. Till next time. Peace.